And I want to end with stuff I like. Maybe, is he the greatest American poet? He's certainly among the handful. If you had to name, you could not name 5 great American poets, is Walt Whitman. And Walt Whitman is kind of our national poet. And he was on the cusp of a movement called Transcendentalism, which I've always been very fascinated by because it was kind of the American version of British Romanticism, more religious, more independent, more based on the individual. It was a lot of like breaking away from the past and tradition that a person could find within himself. He could find within himself the right path and the right guide. A very American, self-reliant, it based very big on the idea of self-reliance, which I think was an Emerson phrase. But Walt Whitman wrote this book, Leaves of Grass, which at the time was viciously attacked as being pornographic. And there's a lot of talk about Whitman's sexuality. Most people think he was gay. He claimed he wasn't. He claimed that he had fathered 6 illegitimate children. But most people feel that he was probably a gay guy. But I don't know. But the book itself, it's not poetry like you've ever heard before. It's kind of the first modern poetry, but it's got a different voice. It's something you haven't heard. And I picked one very short piece because it kind of spoke to me in the moment when I sort of felt this week kind of weighed on me. I really dislike these Nazi guys, and I dislike the press lying about them, and I dislike them ginning up the hatred between the people and these guys pulling down the statues. They're the worst people in our country, the Antifa people and the Nazis and the press. They are the worst people in this country. They represent a very, very small number of people. When you saw those people, both the guy who was upset at Trump and the 3 ladies who were supporting Trump, you see those people and you realize, most Americans are such decent people. I've traveled everywhere in this country, and they really are wonderful people. These little groups of dirtbags, to use the technical term. I don't like to use scientific terms, but these dirtbags, to set us against each other is just really, it was weighing on me. And Walt Whitman wrote this poem called "Oh Me, Oh Life." And "Oh Me," of course, an old-fashioned way of saying, I'm sad. Basically, I'm sad. "Oh me, oh life." Life is weighing on him too heavily. And he writes, "Oh me, oh life. Of the questions of these recurring, these deep questions that we have that keep coming back to us, of the endless trains of the faithless, of cities filled with the foolish, of myself forever reproaching myself for who is more foolish than I and who is more faithless, of eyes that vainly crave the light of the objects mean, of the struggle ever renewed, of the poor results of all, of the plodding and sordid crowds I see around me, of the empty and useless years of the rest, with the rest, me, intertwined. The question, oh me, oh sad, recurring, the question is, what good amid these, oh me, oh life? And then he answers the question. He just has the word answer. The question is, the answer to what good is all this is that you are here, that life exists and identity, that the powerful play goes on and you may contribute a verse. And you may, and we all may, if we follow what's right and what's good.